Greetings to my people, and welcome to another exciting Spotlight review. I know it's been a while, but things have been pretty hectic over here, or should I say, psycho. So with that said, let's just ignore that factor and get back to some very lovely video reviews on this channel. Starting back with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Gamestop exclusive 2-pack of the Lost Galaxy Red Ranger and In Space Psycho Red Ranger. And this is my first Psycho figure out of the entire Power Rangers toy line from Bandai America and Hasbro. I never did acquire the legacy version of those figures because, well, I was out the door before they were even announced. Anyway, with that said, let's see how this all plays out. Taking a look at the packaging as partake of every single video review on this channel first. Up close in your face. And here is the front of the packaging. Ignore the glare from the spotlights back there. Anyway, we have Lost Galaxy Red on the left side. Psycho Red Ranger from In Space on the right side. Says Power Rangers Lightning Collection, ages 4 and plus, warning choking hazard. On this side we got the rest of that lovely artwork of the Psycho Red Ranger. Up here it says Power Rangers In Space. And on this side here we've got Lost Galaxy Red Ranger. Lovely artwork once again with the same Power Rangers Lost Galaxy on the back of the packaging. And here we've got a very nice promotional CGI render of the two figures going at it here. Looks pretty cool, and I love the way that this turned out. Nothing else to really address, so let's take a look at the bottom here, and there it is. There's your sad onion face. Anyway, time's up. Let's get rid of this packaging now so we can take a look at the figures. And I want to start off with Psycho Red because, like I said, never did have the legacy version. Came out at the tail end of the series, and I was, like I said, out the door before it was even announced that there would be some Psycho Rangers coming in. Not all of them, unfortunately, but, you know, I'm not going to bash them. I think that the legacy figures were okay for the Psycho Rangers. I mean, there were a lot of reviewers that loved them, but I think this is very lovely. I mean, look at the Red Ranger here. Look how crazy all this attention to detail is, and the sculpting and the paintwork is actually one of the cleanest figures to come out of the Lightning Collection. Yes, there is some sloppiness here and there, mainly around the same area everyone else is talking about. The chest section here, the red is bleeding through into the black, but that's a simple fix with a Sharpie. But, you know, it's really not that bad. It actually looks pretty good when compared to all the other reviewers. Let's take a look over here. We got a little bit of a scratch right there. Some of the black is coming through from the red paint as it was chipped off. And then if you shine a light up right here at his visor, he's got a crack. I think that's actually part of the design. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the episodes of the Psycho Rangers to figure that out, or someone could just tell me down below. That would be nice. But everything else seems to be pretty solid. Well, spoke too soon. There's a little scratch right there, but everything else looks great. I like the way this figure turned out. So amazing. Plus, we have that lovely thing about the Lightning Collection figures, which is we've got quite a bit of that detail. We've got quite the amount of articulation, which I'm going to go through right now because we do have a ball joint at the head for the Psycho Red. He does have a hinge joint at the neck, and you know how it goes. We can go now to the shoulders where he does have a hinge joint for inward and outward movement, which, due to the fact that he's got some nicely sculpted shoulder pads here, you're really only going to get about that much, but at least it's not as stiff as Wave 1 figures. I'm so glad they're improving on that. And we got a bicep swivel cut. We got double jointed elbows. You get way more than 90 degrees of bend. And then you got your wrist rotation. There's a hinge joint for inward and outward movement. And then we got a ball jointed upper torso, which is pretty fair. It's not as tight as I was hoping it would actually be. It is a little loose, but it's not that bad, so it's fair. And then we've got the lovely ab crunch. See that? They spared to no expense when it comes to even their villain figures, and I just love it. And then we got a ball joint at the leg with this much kicking forward to the hips and nothing really going back. but you still can't pull off that JCVD split. This line is going to suffer for that, and only for that reason. But okay, fine, let's just get used to it. And then we got the swivel cut at the thigh section, double jointed knees, which are pretty tight on this figure, especially the lower portion, which I can't really bend here, and I don't want to run the risk of damaging. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it does work. And then we got a swivel cut above the boot section, a hinge joint for up and down movement at the feet, which also includes a lovely ankle rocker pivot, which is on par with their Marvel Legend figures. And of course, with the Lightning collection, we've got accessories. So let's take a look at his signature sword here, which does have a lovely metallic paint job here for the silver going into this darker color. Very lovely red paint here and black in the middle, with a little bit of some scratching right there. You can see the red kind of peeling there, right there, just right there. That's okay. And then we got whatever this is, I'm guessing a ribbon or something that wraps around the handle of the sword, which is not as pronounced, or I mean, it is actually more pronounced than it was on the Legacy figure from Bandai America. As far as I know, his weapon, this ribbon here was like completely at the handle. Now this is just sticking out, and it is a separate piece. As you can see, it's actually rotating as I move this lower portion here. And of course, you can put it in the figure's hand as it should be. And he looks great with this sword. I love this figure. Oh, speaking of which, there's one portion of the articulation I forgot. Yes, he does have a butterfly joint. As you can see, this upper chest section here is actually that rubber material, which means it does not hinder the butterfly joint. So you can get a pretty good amount of range for inward and outward movement here. So you can actually get him to hold his sword with two hands, which I did do last night when I got this figure, but due to time constraints, I'm not going to do it here on video. Just take my word for it, it can be done. Now, on to other accessories the figure has. And I gotta say, this is just a little bit of a nitpick here. Yes, he does have his standard balled up fist like every other Power Ranger figure out of the Lightning collection. You know, I really don't see the reason for this. I just don't. You can't really do much for it except make it look like a natural posing where the figure is probably punching its opponent, like the Rangers, of course. But outside of that, I'd rather have more accessories, something better than just a balled up fist here. I see no reason. I mean, if my figure's got open hands and comes with accessories, that's all I really need. I don't need this, but everybody else is going to have a different opinion. Now, he does have a very lovely lightning effect piece, which is sculpted to the hand here and painted over in black for the gloves. And then it does have a hinge joint here, so you can do your inward and outward folding with the hand if it were attached to the forearm. But I love the color that's being used here for the electrified piece. Very nice. Very nicely clear plastic. You can see my finger behind it moving around, which is nice. And it's a very lovely turquoise green color. I love it. Just so cool. And I will show it real quickly as I go about removing the hand for the very first time on this figure, or second time, because this is actually the hand that was packaged with the figure. So there you go. Leo, Lost Galaxy Red Ranger, already in a pre-pose position as I had him displayed last night when I got this set. Just testing out the articulation and the way how these figures can stand up in my lovely gallery of Lightning collection figures, and this was the pose I came up with, so it looks really good. And as you can see, he can hold his weapon with both hands because of the butterfly joint, so I'm not fooling here. See? Pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and remove it so we can take a look at the figure. And I guess we're going to start off with his alternate head here, and as you can see, yeah, that definitely looks like the actor who played Leo in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. It looks great. One of the better print jobs to come out of this, I guess you could say, Wave 2/3, because that's where we are right now, I believe. So, yeah. I mean, it's definitely leaps and bounds better than we got with Kimberly, for sure, but whatever, I digress. So anyway, let's go ahead and remove this now, because that is not how he's packaged. Ah, I killed him. Ah, everything I touch gets ruined. Anyway, let's put on the Ranger helmet, as it should be, and here we go. Take a look at that. It's very nice. One thing that I do have to address is that there is quite the sloppy paint job on the visor piece, and every single release that I have found at my local GameStop looked exactly like this. So yeah, I mean, it's something that I could fix very easily with a little bit of maybe some just something that can wipe paint off very quickly. I can't think of any products at the moment. Still pretty cool. And yeah, he does have a little bit of some sloppiness here with the yellow at the top of the helmet. It's not a really good paint job. You can see the red's still bleeding through. Maybe if it had a second coat that would have been nice, but I digress. Everything else about it looks fantastic. Looks very cool. Looks like it's not lion helmet, as I never thought of this to be a lion, to tell you the truth, because I just don't see it. I never did, especially when I was a kid. Anyway, yeah, here's the rest of the suit, which is fully painted, and that's all we could really ask for when it comes to the Lightning figures. Well, we could also say, yeah, give us a really good paint job here, don't make it sloppy, but, that's something they can improve on later. Right, as you can see down here, he does have his Quasar Saber in its storage form, which you can just put it right back into the holster here. And his holster is a nicely painted black piece here, which is actually attached to the belt. And you can see the buckle right there with the V. Looks good. Got a little bit of white bleeding right here on this side, but whatever. I can fix it. It's no problem. So, yep, overall, not too bad. I really do like the way that these figures came out in this box set. So let's go through the articulation. He does have a ball joint at the head. He's got a very loose neck joint, or should I say a hinge at the neck, but it's just my figure. Your results could be different. He also has the butterfly joint, which I showcased with his sword in both hands. He does have some nice hinge joints at the shoulders without anything blocking, so you can't get a complete 90 degrees that way. Can't get your full 360 rotation. We do have a bicep cut, as you can see. Double jointed elbows, that does give way more than 90 degrees of bend. We have that swivel cut at the wrist and the hinge joint for inward and outward movement on a very nice clicky joint. Very good. And then we got our upper ball jointed torso. We have the ab crunch, which is standard to the Lightning collection, and I just love that. We also have ball jointed hips at the legs. You get this much kicking forward, nothing going back, and still no JCVD split. So I just gotta point it out, guys. Alright, don't take it as an offense here. It's just something I gotta do. It's my job. Anyway, we do have a thigh swivel cut. We also have double jointed knees, which, again, they're working on it. They are kind of tight, but they're getting better at it, so they're not breaking, right? We also have a swivel cut at the boot section. We also have the hinge joint that's kind of ratcheted on at least this foot here for the figure. And then we've also got that lovely ankle rocker pivot, just like Marvel Legends. Well, these guys are legends in their own way, but since we already have a Legend series, they had to be called the Lightning series, and I just love it anyway. With that said, there is one thing that, again, I really don't love, and that's the alternate hands. I would have preferred something much better than a balled up fist and your standard karate chop hand, which, okay, fine, whatever, but I want more accessories. I mean, if we could have sacrificed these pieces for some pop-on pieces for the Lights of Orion armor, that would have been cool, but I guess it just couldn't be done, just not in the budget. He also has his Quasar Saber in its battle form. Lovely. Does have some nice paint work here, and you can actually see the detail right there of that face, which looks good. And then you got the sculpting here on the blade piece, which is so nice. I love it. The V is nicely painted, so are these lines down here. Looks great. Very nice work here. Very nice. This is a very beautiful weapon. I love it. And then we've got the lightning effect, which is not a lightning effect. It's more of a flame effect here for like powering up its Quasar Saber for a final shot at the enemy here, just to slash him at the waist or something and let him blow up. Pretty cool. And it's not as translucent as I was hoping it would probably be, but I'm fine with it. Though this kind of makes me hungry for Twizzlers, and I think you can understand why that is. Anyway, there's that. Let's go ahead and give him back his Quasar Saber here. just like that. That's right, Quasar Saber, and have him look up just a little bit so he doesn't look like he's ashamed of himself, and there's no reason to be ashamed. There's some lovely figures here. I love this set, I really do. There are a little bit of some nitpicks here, but it's just that, it's just nitpicks. Just a little nicking to the paint job, and of course we got those hands that I really don't care about, but again, everyone else is entitled to their own opinion, and I will respect that. If you love these hands, that's fine. If they're giving us hands like this, I mean, I'm a-okay with that. I am totally down with this, but you know, whatever. I'm just sick of the karate chop and the balled up fists already, and there ain't that many figures that's had them. But regardless, this is a very lovely box set, and I think everyone should own this, especially if you are a Power Rangers Lost Galaxy and In Space fan. If you love the Psycho Rangers, it's a definite must-have for Psycho Red. If you're not really into Lost Galaxy, then you really don't need the Red Ranger. My advice, buy the box set just for the Psycho Red Ranger, and then just sell Leo on eBay if that's what you want to do. I mean, that's fine, but it really, the pop-out star of this set is, of course, the Lightning Collection Psycho Red Ranger, and this makes me very excited for the GameStop exclusive Blue Psycho Ranger that's coming very soon. Hopefully soon enough to the Spotlight review. So I think I've given my 2 cents on this. There's not much else to address, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Questions or comments, you know what to do. Hit down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, why not hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down, and don't forget to throw in the towel. With that said, this is your unprofessional toy reviewer, Red's Power, signing off saying thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you whenever you see me.